Hello and welcome to A Star to Steer Her By, episode 409.
Whoa.
Oh,
this
boy.
is Chris, and joining me today are...
Ames.
Caitlin!
And Jake.
Nope, we sent Caitlin through that door, and she hasn't come out.
Well, really, her spore drive is busted, so...
We sent her through a door, so she's just standing in a closet somewhere.
I've done
409 is the HTTP status code for a conflict.
Is it really?
Appropriate.
It is.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe we'll have another status code title. We probably... Well, actually, there is some conflict in there. Wait, what the hell am I talking about? Well, what the hell am I talking about is this week's episode of Discovery, Terra Firma, Part 1. It's very
Finally,
exciting.
a part one that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's going to lead into a part 2. Spoilers for Jake's outro. Sorry, Jake. So, this week, what's going on? I don't know, a little too much. Plot A, Georgiou is still turning into a Winamp sound visualizer, and that's eventually gonna kill her.
Good.
Because some alien dude from the Kelvin timeline once exploded because he both jumped universe and time. And like that just 1-2 punch is too much. Like cells want to be in the time they are from, apparently, but it's not a deadly problem for our Discovery crew because they jumped a lot of time, but not universes. So it's an excuse.
Michael's jumped
whatever.
universes, but then she came back.
Yeah, I think it's like they came back to their
I do love Tales of Yore.
Yeah, yes, the alien's name was Yor. And we have actually, in our recordings, encountered him before because of that random-ass alien in 765874 Unification.
Oh, that thing.
Brought Kirk to see Spock or something. I don't quite remember what he did. But he was
it's
there.
open to interpretation what the fuck even happened in that thing.
Yeah. So they're like, well, there's nothing we can do. Kovich has explained all this to
Georgiou.
No. Hugh, Jesus, I have worst time with his name the past few weeks.
Not
And he's like,
Stamets.
yes. And it's like, well, we have this supercomputer now with 10,000 years worth of data. Maybe it knows something. And he's like, whatever, dude. I'm going to go get stabbed by Jason. But then they ask the computer and she's like, oh, actually, maybe you should go to Danis 5. And they're like, why? And she's like, it's a secret.
Oh,
So
computer.
they get the okay from Vance to go to Danis 5.
For reasons.
There's a man from a 1930s screwball comedy there, whom I love, and they send Georgiou through a magic door, and oh shit, it's the mirror universe, and the day Michael betrayed her and she had to kill her. But now she's all conflicted, because despite her swaggery and braggadocio in the Prime universe, she has kind of gotten used to, like, not always having to fear for her life, and she's not blended in great.
Not killing Saru all the time.
Yeah, she saves him from Michael, no less. And, despite the fact people are like, this like, potential mutiny Lorca's starting is kind of because people feel like you're changing. And it's like, oh boy, you aren't ready for how much she's changed. So Michael goes to kill her in a hallway, but she's like, no, I'm gonna, like, torture you totally. Yeah, that's what it is. Send her to the agony booth. And, we'll find out more next week from that storyline. In the, not even B and C plots so much as
those
B and C.
Those kind of ongoing plots that keep getting, like, increments furthered in episodes.
Yeah. Adira's overworking themselves, and they're stressed out still because Gray has cut off contact. And because of that, has, like, basically not reset a computer for simplicity's sake. So the algorithm wasn't working, but then they go beep, bap, boop. Oh, it works. And it's like, oh, shit. We've decoded most, but not all of the distress call. It's from a Kelpian ship. And Saru's like, holy shit. And so that gives him weird feelings. And, actually, that's basically what's going on there with that. So, yeah, Ames, I am going to knock your socks off. We have finally encountered a Mirror Universe episode I am, at best, lukewarm on.
Whoa! I'm curious how you'll feel next week.
Well, that's what
next week I remember. This week was this week is kind of set up.
That's what I'm waiting for too, because my problem right now is, and I won't know until we get to next week, is like, did these need to be like this? Could we have just had...
They never need to be like this.
That's true. Like, I feel like this maybe would have been better if we just kind of ignored B and C for now, and just devoted the whole episode to this Georgiou nonsense. And then next week could have completely been the arc plot stuff. Because I feel like interspersing them the way they did kind of hurt both of them a little.
Yeah, because there is definitely that point, once Georgiou goes through the door, we stop having the B and C and D and E and all the way through Q, who a lot of people thought Carl was.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was reading reviews today, and it's like a lot of people were like, oh, it's going to be Q. And it's like, I realize now there are tons of signs in this episode that I didn't catch when I first saw this. But
I remember at the time someone online nailed it day of in like some probably shit posting, but definitely a Facebook group. Somebody's like, oh, it's this. And next week they were bang on.
Yeah, apparently, and because there are some people that figured out the whole Carl thing, because if you look closely at the newspaper and like screenshot it and expand and enhance and all this stuff, there's a lot of shit in the Star Dispatch, which is a reference I wouldn't have gotten, but in retrospect, you're like, makes a lot of sense. I remember my first thought, because I forget if it was like leaked somewhere or someone said like Carl is gonna be a TOS reference, if that was actually like leaked. And my thought was, TOS reference, Lazarus, because he goes through universes like we see Georgiou do here.
There's no way he would have gotten rid of his rockin' soup beard.
That's true.
Although it does say one of the things I did catch in the newspaper was it says good soup.
Ha!
Oh.
But of course, that's just us.
Yeah, that's just our reference because we're ridiculous.
Nobody else knows about Lazarus's fascination with soups.
Although, I mean, let's be honest, we know they are all devout listeners. And this is season 3, so our soup beard episode had been out by this point.
That's a good point. It was a gravy beard for us most of the time.
Yeah, it was gravy.
Oh, fuck, it wasn't it? That's
he dips his beard in the gravy. It works up in the
soup.
capillary action.
Yeah, it's how he gets his nutrients.
Lazarus.
But soups, gravy, any sort of liquefied meat product.
It's got to be viscous.
Well, it's like how Mork drank with his finger in Mork and Mindy.
Remember this?
I think it's Mork and Mindy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that. He'll like stick his finger in a cup and absorb the liquid that way, but he still eats with his mouth. It doesn't make a ton of sense. But of course, that was a comedy. It doesn't have to.
I mean, isn't that also how the was it the doctor drank? Or some hologram like had a glass that they were able to empty and fill.
Odo would.
Oh,
yes,
it was Odo.
Odo did that.
That's
was
right.
his
it was
trick.
Odo.
It was a good trick.
Yeah, he would basically just make
now.
part of himself into a glass and pretend to drink.
Yeah. So aside from the Carl mystery, which sure, why not have yet more mysteries? Because of the timing of this, everyone was theorizing what's going to happen to Georgiou, because everyone already knows that they're doing the Section 31. It was going to be a series at the time.
Yeah.
And it's we have to get Georgiou into a place where she's back in time and back with Section 31 so that she can be the lead in this series that we all want for her in the first place. No one wanted this.
Nobody
son
wants
of a
that.
fucking bitch.
Paramount wanted it.
Yeah, so really it's all just one big, like, obvious thing that they're doing to write the character out of the show that everyone's already aware of.
Yeah. And again, like, to make a whole two-parter in the middle of your season for the sake of writing a character off, like, guys, you did not plan this well. Like, just do not have brought her to the future in the first place, because I'm pretty sure they'd already been talking about it, the series, the Section 31
Yeah, they
one.
definitely were. They definitely were.
Like, why bring her to the future if you knew you'd then have to deal with that?
Who the fuck knows? Because we needed more quips and Georgiou nonsense in this season.
So.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of praise for the Michael-Georgiou relationship in this episode, but the issue is, it's stuff that we've commented on many times as being good subtext whenever they're, like, treating each other like they want to treat their original Mirror Michael or normal Georgiou. Mm-hmm. So that when they point it out 15 fucking times this episode, you're not my normal Michael.
Yeah.
You're not like my real Georgiou. And it's like, you don't need to spell it out 1.5 million times. It was better before.
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely disappointed by them stating the obvious.
Yeah, I was let down by that dynamic because they no longer felt genuine. They felt like they were delivering exposition.
Yeah. Having said that, things I did appreciate about it was the fact that, like, again, as I was saying, it's nice when they let Michelle Yeoh actually act and not just quip. And it's funny watching her be in what should be her element and her realizing it's not anymore and her sort of struggling with that. Like, she catches herself, but even as she's doing things, you can see her, like, when they kind of give her a moment alone-ish, or at least in a sort of a tighter shot, like, there's conflict and confusion there. She's like, why isn't this coming naturally anymore? What the fuck, you Federation dorks? You broke me.
Yeah, and there's also extra scheming, because now it's like, okay, I could fix the Michael situation and have the Michael that I want back, but it will ruin everything if I do that. Yeah. So yeah, the conflict, hey, there's your conflict. 409, giddy up. The conflict in Georgiou in that regard is interesting. Yeah. And then she learns, like, oh no, there's no bringing Michael back around. She hates my guts.
So much,
and good for her.
I did enjoy that exchange, you know, like, because she's discussing with Prime Michael, I plucked you off a rubbish heap. And then we find out from Mirror Michael, it's like, yeah, I was king of that rubbish heap, and I was happier to be that.
I was a big fish.
What's that old saying? Better to rule in hell than serve in heaven?
I'd rather be dead in Arizona than alive in somewhere else. Oh, I forget the Arrested line. It's a good line.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm in Arizona, hopefully it's either very brief or I've been killed, because I don't want to spend significant amounts of time in Arizona from what I've... Sounds like a terrible state.
Go Coyotes.
Good for them, but I can watch them on television.
No,
the Coyotes have moved. They're no longer in Arizona either.
Oh, where are they now?
Utah. The mammoth. One singular mammoth.
Made up of many men. I don't know. This episode, you know, like so many Mirror Universe episodes before, this one is bad.
How fanficky is it?
This one to me is as bad as any of the DS9 ones, honestly, which are, for the record, the worst. Yeah, I don't know. The things that I disliked, in brief, Captain Killy. It was like, it was a fanfic. It was a meme. It was
it's funner when it's real Killy being
we liked the joke about Tilly being Killy. So we're going to bring back the real Captain Killy, and we're going to have Georgiou call her Killy, because it was kind of implied in the first episode that was just like a nickname. It wasn't her actual name, but apparently it's the name that the Emperor would call her, I guess. So that was terrible. I was trying to figure out what the fuck is Stamets's job in the Mirror Universe, because last time he was like some kind of scientist, and now he's like a carnival barker MC kind of guy.
Well, you know, he can have hobbies, and he's a scientist whose hobby is writing terrible poetry.
But what I really don't get is, so this whole we're going to assassinate the Emperor thing that Michael Burnham was planning with evidently Lorca, but also Stamets and
Landry, we know.
Landry and Detmer were all in on it. But evidently, so this was already being planned, and this is an event that has already happened in Georgiou's timeline. Like, she remembers this happening. So presumably this assassination attempt did actually happen,
and she died.
No, I mean she must have stopped it somehow, but
didn't kill Stamets, because he's alive
Stamets
in the other episodes.
Gave him a job on her ship doing science
Yeah,
or
I
something.
do not understand why it was Stamets, because it makes no sense if he's the one doing the assassination attempt, knowing what we know from the other episodes.
Make it Culber. Just make
make it Culber, and then she kills Culber, and it's
Yeah,
like,
'cause
oh
we
no,
haven't-
our DEF CON levels of fun! No!
Like, we don't know much about Mirror Culber, or
Yeah, we never
really
saw
any
him.
of the Mirror Discovery crew. Right?
No,
It
but I
could
mean,
even
we
be-
had
Yeah.
we had at least seen the other ones. Culber, we specifically had not seen his mirror counterpart.
Yeah, so she
it
could have
definitely
killed
would've
him.
worked. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's weird, like, obviously this isn't...
How it
It
went.
either isn't real or they've created another splinter timeline, because, yeah, Paul is alive when we see him in season 1 mirror universe, and his existence kind of hinges... Like, he has to exist for a lot of season 1 to happen.
Mhm.
Yeah. We
So,
don't.
like-
I don't think we get to the Mirror Universe without Mirror Stamets and
Yeah.
regular
And
Stamets.
don't get back either.
Yeah,
Right.
what I can't remember, like, and maybe this would explain it, but, like,
He did
I
get
do-
stuck in his mycelial network at some point.
yes, he did. It's possible that, like, in the original version, like, Georgiou rumbled him and decided to make him a double agent, because I feel like him kind of playing both sides did come up in season
Yeah, that
1, but I
sounds
don't quite-
right.
So I
But
think maybe...
he is specifically attempting assassination.
Yeah, like, basically something changed in this version before, like, that caused him to just try to stab her, whereas maybe in the original timeline he didn't. Again, maybe she had gone to him earlier because she'd already figured it out, but this time she didn't do that, or forgot to do that, or whatever. You have to assume, again, that it's a separate timeline, or that, again, this is all some kind of crazy hallucination.
Yeah, really, I think the answer is they got Stamets to be the ringleader because Anthony Rapp is a theater person.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But it
And
was
I get,
stupid.
I get that the poem is supposed to be bad, I'm sure, but it's not funny bad, it's just bad. Like, they were clearly going for, like, funny bad, and it did not work.
Like a lot of Mirror Universe stuff. Like it's they're making they're having fun for themselves and hoping people will also have fun.
Well, and also, to be fair to the bad poetry joke, Star Trek has a very messy history with intentional comedy. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like whenever they try to be funny, maybe it lands half the time if we're being generous.
And you haven't even seen Lower Decks yet.
Yes, that's true. That may shift the proportion, but based on everything I've seen up to this point, whenever they try to be funny, it's like, oh, that didn't quite work.
They really needed some Joe Piscopo level jokes in this
Oh
one.
my god.
The other thing about this episode that I find odd is Georgiou. This is like we were saying. This was an actual event that Georgiou remembers that she participated in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in-
roughly 2 years prior, based on
2
when
years
we know Lorca's band of dissidents had been in agony booths.
And it would make a lot of, I can understand why the fans would have thought this was a Q thing, because this is Tapestry,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's the same mechanics as Tapestry, where it's
Kinda.
like you're quantum leaping into yourself in your past,
I hadn't thought of that, but yeah.
versus other forms of time travel we have seen in Star Trek, particularly those where you walk through like a portal. You're just going to the past. So there should really be another Georgiou here if it's that kind of time travel. Right?
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Like this isn't like, I know what Carl ends up being, and I'm trying not to like spoil it directly, but the way that we see time travel depicted in Star Trek usually is not quantum leap style. It's not you go back
Yeah,
into
it's
your
Back to the
past
Future
body.
style.
It's you are literally transporting yourself into the past. So there really should be a second Georgiou somewhere.
This is Captain Christopher time travel.
Captain Christopher time? What are you talking about?
From Tomorrow's Yesterday?
Oh,
where they like
oh.
beam him into himself, and they never adequately explain why that did what it did.
Right, yeah.
See, See, I would actually have to disagree with the assessment that they're having fun with it. And I think that's my problem with this one is it's not stupid enough for me.
Oh,
They're
that's hilarious.
trying to take the mirror universe seriously suddenly. And it's like,
but they had an Owo Reese fight. That's fun.
But it was too po-faced. It's like, this isn't the level of camp evil I'm used to. It's trying to be like serious evil. And
well, it's because it's Discovery. Discovery is mostly serious and has Linus.
But then, like, I feel like when they did the Mirror Universe in season 1, they had more campiness, like they were supposed to. This one,
like Captain Killy was kind of that camp joke aspect.
Yeah, but even the characters were a bit more like, everyone felt a little extra slinky, and in this one, everyone's like, no, we're going to be serious evil this time, and it's like...
So you want to mirror Linus?
No, but I want people to be having more fun.
See, the actors are having fun acting slinky.
Yes,
or,
but it's not
just evil.
It's not in the story like it usually is, Like it's
I buy that.
It's not being given the room to come across. Like, again, I'm sure they're having fun, but like when you watch them in season 1, or when you watch Mirror Deep Space Nine, or especially like Mirror George Takei.
Yeah, or Mirror Enterprise.
Yeah, like they are clearly like reveling in being these over-the-top evil characters. And in this one, again, because the story is taking the Mirror Universe seriously, the actors have to, like, not express as much, like, camp joy at evil. I will say the one kind of campy evil thing that, again, I wish, more of this. There are evil dots in the Mirror Universe.
Yeah, I noticed
like
that. That was
black
ridiculous.
With red glowing eyes.
And I was like, I missed those the first time. And I'm like, yes, evil robots always have to have red eyes.
Yeah, the Mirror Universe sucks, and this also sucks.
Did you notice we had Mirror Arium and she was still human-faced?
I wouldn't have noticed it, but I remember reading it at the time, which is the only reason I knew.
Yeah, I
but
think
she
we see
had
a little
dark
more
hair instead of blonde hair.
Because it's the Mirror Universe.
Yeah, and again, I'll say again, I didn't hate it, but I was just very lukewarm on it because it was missing that idiot spark that makes me love the Mirror Universe.
Yeah, instead it's trying to be a Georgiou character piece, but I hate Mirror Georgiou as a character.
Yeah.
Like, when Vance is basically saying, like, oh, we have to, throw a life preserver to a drowning crew member kind of a thing, or people will be sad. And it's like, I would not... Who on this ship would be sad? No one but Michael likes her.
Well, I will say, though, like, even if the way he explains it doesn't make sense, I will say that even offering help to someone who is an enemy, for lack of a better term, or at least someone a lot of people don't like, that is what they should be doing as Starfleet.
Well, they've had the kind of moral high ground on this. Hugh has been helping all over the place.
Yeah.
But Georgiou keeps fighting back, and at what point do you say, fuck it then, die?
I mean, the thing is, I feel like that, honestly, I was thinking of that too, is like, for all they're trying to frame that as a very Mirror Universe thing, she'll want to die in battle or whatever. Like, even in the real world, you do have people who, when their number is up, or they think it's up, they decide to just... I mean, hell, there was that whole episode with the Doctor trying to save his father.
Oh, Zimmerman.
Thank you, Jesus. Even he was just like, well, I'm probably dying. Fuck you all. Don't help me. Double bird. So, obviously there's an extra layer of pissed off with her because it's Mirror, but that's still something that is, I think, recognizably human. Some people do just say, fuck it, and you have to fight with them to get them to say, fine, not fuck it, let's try.
But I hate her, so I don't care.
She
like
is
there was
the worst.
There was like a really like rapid light switch flick when it's like when she's down on Danis 5, and it's like, here's a door that will save your life, and she's like, oh, I'm heading for that door, and it's like, where did this come from? This was too quick a change. Like
that I will agree.
Very sudden.
Yeah, like her resisting help made sense. I just wish, that there had been more gradual of a shift in her attitude.
Yeah, that's what I kind of wanted to. Because after weeks of her being stubborn about the whole thing, Yeah, it was a really quick change. I didn't care. I thought there was no good reason to go out like so far out of our way in the middle of an Orion crisis for this thing. And also, I almost want to be like, this is just yet more instances when we could have been doing something with Culber that we never do anything with Culber. Yeah. Because it had to be part of the Michael story, because the Michael Georgiou dynamic is the focus.
Yeah, yeah.
And bringing the Doctor, which would make sense from a story standpoint, gets in the way of the character drama standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, again, and as we know, as we've said repeatedly, like, Michelle Yeoh's a good enough actor that if you had written a more gradual turn over the course of the past several weeks, she could have pulled it off just fine.
Yeah, and we've given her those weeks. Like, this has been a slow burn of a plot.
Yeah, but the story didn't treat it that way, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love freaking Vance saying, like, oh, I noticed in your files that you hesitated to kill Ariam when she badly needed to be put down. Will you hesitate with Georgiou? And Michael's like, nah, I learned my lesson from the area. It's like, Michael, no, this is your surrogate mom in mirror shape. You will never kill this person.
You didn't learn shit.
No.
Bring Landry.
I will say, though, what is also good about the whole, like, let's help this jackass thing from Vance is it makes you feel like, oh, maybe he will be okay. Because as I said a few weeks ago, like, he's an admiral, so I already don't trust him. He's an admiral in desperate times, so I double don't trust him. So, like, it's like you see this, and you're like, okay, so maybe we can trust you? And again, I won't say where it goes, but it's good to get sort of a counterbalance, because up until now, he's mostly had to be, like, understandably stern dad. But it's like, all right, are you just being stern because you have to be, or are you actually a plotting admiral bastard? I don't know.
Yeah, I think people were definitely warming to Vance by this time and just kind of allowing the character. I did read that it was very funny that some people had assumed that whatever was going on with Georgiou was caused by her interrogation from Kovich.
Oh, interesting.
And then they learned in this episode, oh no, this was caused by paragraphs of time-space technical mumbo-jumbo at the top of the episode, which sounds very fucking contrived, but it got us to the point that the writers needed us to get to.
Yeah. I just know from my own experience at the time, I was just like, I just automatically distrust admirals in Star Trek. And I think I was being extra like, no, don't trust him just because you loved him in The Mummy. That's a different character.
See, I still distrust Kovich all over the place.
Oh,
and
he
I
is
noticed
not
like
Go on.
Yeah, and I noticed, like, you know, I'm not gonna... Luckily, Caitlin's not here, so I don't have to talk as much around what we learn about Kovich later, but I'll still talk around it enough in case anyone's listening fresh. But there are definitely worse seeds in this episode that you realize in retrospect. Were they planning it all along? Son of a fucking bitch.
Yeah,
but he's
honestly,
also, like... He was also racially profiling Terrans like he's been doing, which I really dislike.
Yeah.
I also just, like, I don't know... Cronenberg just isn't that strong an actor. And, like, I found the delivery to be very poor.
Well, that's the thing. He's mostly a director.
I know. That's why it's so surprising that they cast him in this.
This is what they wanted out of the character. They sought him out.
I joked at the time, I remember, that basically they were like, oh, fuck. The Mandalorian had Werner Herzog. What random weird director can we cast? But Herzog had done at least some acting before that. Like, he is, again, mostly a director, but he's also an actor.
Was season 1 Mandalorian before this?
I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Holy shit, time fucking flies.
This was 2020, right?
Yeah, this is 2020.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate his performance, but yeah, it's definitely a little, like, flat. But yes, Ames, to your point, like, I'm listening to these scenes in retrospect for the first time, and I'm like, was that really not just an ass pull? Oh my god, of all the things to not be an ass pull, you fucks. But yeah, I remember, like, I was not sure about Vance, but I just remember being like, oh, this is the least trustworthy man in space. And I think that's part of the reason I distrusted Vance so much, is like, why is this man allowed to do anything? He is at least Georgiou admits she's a piece of shit. This guy's just lurking. It's like, is he Section 31? Is he the whole of Section 31 right now? Is he some sort of double evil one? Is he Section 62?
Yeah, I don't want to give the writers that much credit, because I don't think they... how can you plan that far out in advance for a reveal that's almost throwaway?
I mean...
years from now?
Look at fucking Babylon 5.
I gotta finish Babylon 5. I think Jake and I watched most of it, and then something came up.
Like, from what I understand, because I haven't seen all of it either, but, like, dude basically had the whole basic arc planned out from word go, and even had, like, contingencies in his back pocket for if cast left.
Which they did.
Yeah.
Or died.
Yes.
Which
sadly.
they did.
Yeah. But, like, that, I'm not saying they went to that level, but when someone can do that much, I could totally see somebody being like, we know who this mystery dude is, and one day maybe we'll plop it in there just to fuck with people.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you know
I don't know. I just would have liked to see
to
a different actor, I think, as Kovich.
I have
don't
to
know
say
who.
it's actually Malcolm McDowell from Generations. He survived. His appearance changed because of Nexus things. It's him, guys. It's an Elorian, just
There
like
you
we
go.
want Jet to be.
I mean, that tracks as much as what they actually end up doing with anything on this show. Because the writing to the end is the other thing that bothers me an awful lot sometimes, because every time we're watching, I'm like, wow, there could have been way more interesting things they could have done instead. Like, I'm still waiting for the, like, bringing the Federation back together plot, which sounds more interesting to me. You know, what is Discovery's state in this? Like, one of the reviewers made a random comment somewhere of like, okay, they know they have to send Georgiou back to the past because they're doing another show. Yeah. And we know that we can't send all of Discovery back to the past because they're doing this show. Yeah. And that sparked something in me that was like, that would be fascinating drama if Discovery has the chance to go back to the past because of this Georgiou plot, and they have to choose. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Because they realize we have the opportunity to do the thing we originally planned on and couldn't do, but we're in the situation where we're so important to this Federation, and Michael will never leave the burn because she's attached to the burn too much. But the rest of the ship could have a choice. Yeah, like obviously the Discovery would have to go back because the whole point is they have to have the sphere data with them. But yeah, like the crew.
Well, no, what they could do is leave Discovery in the future, and that could help explain Calypso, where they're just like, well, we can't take the ship back in time because the sphere data is there, and if we go back, it'll just start that shit again.
Yeah, whatever happens next week with Georgiou, everyone could do that.
I see. I was thinking like, they'd come up with some contrivance and say, okay, she can go back one last time, but then she has to come back because of technobabble. But again, like you said, that gives the opportunity for some people to be like, maybe I regret that. It could have been a great thing to do with Detmer, you know?
Exactly.
Like, she especially hates the future. And even maybe people who thought it could be interesting are like, yeah, it turns out the future sucks. Yeah, or even like we could go back and like warn people and shit like that. Like, why not? Tell the Federation to put on a bulletproof vest because all the dilithium's about to explode.
Well, we get some in the other plots this week. We find out a little more about that. They've traced the origin of the burn using the data they got from the Vulcanians. And here's the thing. The fucking Vulcanians, they couldn't have figured this out in the past 100 years. Like, I don't get it. It does not make sense to me that it took the crew of Discovery like a week to figure out the origin of the burn. Well,
because they wrote an algorithm.
Well, as I said, for reasons, it had to be both the Vulcanian data and the black boxes.
And them recognizing the song.
Yeah. So it's just that they didn't have all the puzzle pieces. And that kind of makes sense because, again, like since the burn, most people have been kind of keeping to themselves. And especially the Vulcans.
Because they're blaming themselves, too. They're not going to look further into this.
Yeah, the Navarites? I'm going to call them the Navar because that seems the least weird. Yeah, like I imagine there's a lot of arguments. It definitely feels like something the Vulcans of Navarre would definitely be like, nope, we're just gonna sit here and be sad, or not sad. We don't express emotion. We
serious.
Suppress.
We're gonna sit and be serious.
Yeah, about it.
And logical.
But the Romulans probably are flipping out, but...
You know what? I figured out, so you know how like the Navarians have been blaming themselves for the burn for all these years?
Yeah.
It's because the Romulans legitimately did not remember if they had caused the burn. They're like, somebody. It sounds like something we would have done, but I really don't know. It's too plausible.
Oh God, I fucking love the Romulans.
But yeah, so it turns out that it was just some Kelpian had a real bad Varahi, and that's what caused it.
Yeah, all the head quills went shooting out of his head. But that's for the future. But yeah, because and we'll see more of this as the season unfolds. But I keep rewriting in my head, like Jake usually does, rewriting in my head like what would have been a more interesting season, and that's something with the Federation politics, which never gets explored.
Yeah, I mean overall, like it's been entertaining enough. This one, like I said, is kind of... and maybe it's me. I perhaps expect too much from the Mirror Universe.
No, I can attest. The Mirror Universe this episode is bad. The Mirror Universe next episode will make it one of my least favorite episodes of Discovery.
Yeah, I don't remember loads about it. I will say, though, I will give them this. And I don't know if they did this as much in season 1, but Mirror Michael and a lot of the other characters, but especially Mirror Michael, just had the best makeup.
That's true. She had that cool wingy thing.
Yeah, like that at least, the makeup team was still going like camp evil. So bless
Burnham's
them for
lipstick was very nice.
Oh, that's great. That is, she should just,
It looked like velvet.
Sonequa Green should just wear that on the regular in her daily life when she wants to feel fancy.
How the fuck does that crown stay on someone's head when they so much as turn?
My notes. How did they secure the idiot hat?
Maybe she's got, like, pegs in her skull or something. That seems Terran to me.
Because that's the thing, is in season 1, she wears it, but she, like, barely moves when it's on. But in this one, she walks around with it. And I'm just like, how many hairpins were just jammed into her head?
Can you imagine if they had, like, for this big unveiling, they had set up a bunch of balloons, and then she walked through and just popped all of them?
Wait, but first the chair has to spin around.
Yes.
That's right.
But yes, I thought the same thing. Like, wow. It was one thing in season 1 where she barely walked around with it, but in this she's walking around with it. They had to have redesigned it. Because if you watch that season 2, I feel like when she is walking with it, she is very stiff. Like, it was clearly threatening to fall off the whole time. So this time they either made it lighter, or there was just literally a fucking string or something.
Yeah, I was trying to find, like, because, it's mostly on the top of her head. I was looking for, like, a strap that went around the back or something.
I mean, it's probably just sewn to the wig she was wearing.
Yeah, I was about to say, maybe there's something hidden in the wig. It also looks like, and I can't remember if it was like this in the first season, but there is sort of like it's like a double strap that's sort of widened a little, like, so they may have added some, but yes, I think Jake is right. They probably just attached
because the wig would hold on in the back as well, and that would actually make sense. Okay, I'm buying your logic, but it makes no sense in universe if you're assuming that's actually her hair, which maybe it's not. Maybe Georgiou also wears wings.
Programmable matter.
No, but this is the 23rd century, remember?
Yeah, but the mirror, you never know.
Well, I was going to say, you know what it is? There's some of those crystals just have tiny, like, anti-grav generators in them. Makes the hat lighter.
There you go. I did like that one shot of her standing in front of the artificial star.
Oh, yeah.
It was just framed inside the hat.
Yeah,
that was pretty.
They might have done something like that in season 1, but I feel like there was definitely one point where the hat framed something, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, sorry, you were trying to turn us to the other plots, and we kind of got...
Oh, I have one more other plot I want to bring up, because we haven't mentioned this at all. And that's that... So I think last week we didn't even mention that Book is, like, kind of maybe interested in doing more work for or with the Federation, and he's still kind of wishy-washy about it. But he seems open to it, and he's talking with... Saru. My brain is saying Saru.
Yeah.
And Saru's like, well, Mr. Book, you have to prove yourself. And I'm thinking, he's proven himself many times already. I was
going to say.
Yeah, but he's good.
What do you want from this man?
He's really tight with Michael, and she goes off the deep end sometimes, so... And they can't demote him if he decides to help Michael.
We get another dad scene with Adira and Stamets.
There was part of the exchange...
same scene from last week, too, by the way.
But there was part of the exchange I thought was really good, though, which was Stamets saying, like, well, you know, maybe he just thinks you need to do X, Y, or Z. And Adira goes, yeah, but it's not his place to decide what I need. And Paul goes, you're right. And it's like, yeah, look at that. That's such a simple but good exchange.
I just hate his fucking face, man. The way he's just so condescending when he's having these little like heart to hearts. He just has like a smugness to him. I don't like it.
He starts off the scene and Adira is struggling with whatever their I just had the word programmed bit thing. Algorithm. The algorithm that they're writing. And Stamets walks in, oh, have you tried using this button? I'm like, Stamets, Jesus Christ. Smug.
Yeah, see, he didn't come across as wow.
I think a lot of it is also just, I can't not see it in the character, so.
No, I know.
I think it's just his fucking face. I think it's just the actor has an unfortunate smug look that he cannot avoid doing.
Poor Anthony Rapp.
Well, it's like you said, he has like resting sorrow face.
Yes. Well, that's what Aim said. That sort of combined with other things.
But like trying to have like a supportive, patronizing smile combined with the resting sadness is like just comes across as smug.
It'll be interesting to see because I don't quite remember because they seem to be seeding the fact maybe I legit I know where we go, but the finer points are misty. But Saru clearly is knocked on his ass finding out it's Kelpians.
That was a good scene. I loved Saru in that scene.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he's always been sort of Mr. I don't get emotionally compromised in a lot of ways. He doesn't claim to suppress his emotions like Vulcans, but I feel like he's the kind of guy who would argue when I need to, aside from last season when he went through puberty. But now he's clearly very emotionally compromised, and I don't remember if this causes him to do something stupid or not.
Yeah, I forget how that works. Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah, but it would be kind of interesting to see, just because, again, he's normally the guy who doesn't always, he tries to make the best choices. Again, he doesn't always see, a few weeks ago with that stupid plan with Detmer and Tilly, but...
Oh, that one, yeah.
He thinks he's being logical.
Let's pretend Detmer's gone rogue!
And I genuinely don't remember. It'd be interesting to see, if he actually has to, kind of struggle with personal stuff in a way he hasn't before.
Yeah, because when you also think about it, so much of the Kelpians' place in the universe is because of him going down there and triggering all of their Vaharais.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he really knows nothing really about them.
No, not anymore. They've changed so significantly.
I'm sure he's read some books in his time now that he's here, but the culture they have is almost 1,000 years on, and God knows what it's like compared to what he left behind.
How many Baul slaves do they have?
Unlike, humans who are already basically an advanced galactic civilization.
Yeah.
By the time Discovery left, there's not that much to have changed. But with the Kelpians, you're going from an Aguarian sort of, literally
kelp farmers.
Yeah, kelp farmers. Yeah, exactly. Just this sort of pre-industrial civilization. The only glimpse of post-industrial Kelpians he sees is chatting with his sister for 5 seconds during a battle.
Yeah, in the middle of being very distracted.
Yeah. And that's
then he comes to the future and is like, oh shit, they're spacefaring people now.
Yeah, they have their own vessels, because, I know that it was the KSF something, which presumably is Kelpian...
Space Force.
There we go. Kelpian Science Frigate. Kelpian San Francisco.
That's it. It's got to be it.
Kelpian science fiction.
There we go.
You know what I missed in the Mirror Universe?
Better
sexiness. There was no sexiness. There was no like scantily clad sex servants.
See, I don't need sexiness to be I don't need sexiness to be scantily clad. I think the sexiness is in the way the characters carry themselves.
Yeah.
And there was sexiness there in that regard.
But of course, in the
enough.
60s, sexiness did mean
bare midriffs.
Bare midriffs and
or
no
even
sleeves.
in the 90s, right? Like that was
Yes.
like Intendant Kira's whole thing was.
And she wasn't scantily clad.
Yeah,
Well, no, but she was
scantily clad is
painted
not
into
necessarily a
that
requirement,
jumpsuit.
but certainly like having, you know, DEF CON levels of fun sort of ness.
Yeah, no, like that suit left very little to the imagination. But I see we have segued smoothly again.
Yeah, what a smooth segue. Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break because we're in the Mirror Universe and talk about some Mirror Universe stuff for our blogtivities this week. And let's start with just talking about like how the characters like present as mirror people and what we like and don't like about them. And I realize there's a lot of them, so we may have to kind of rush through some that the ones that we don't see a ton of.
Yeah.
Are we talking about every mirror character? What are we doing?
Because there are a few we haven't gotten to.
I don't know who you're referring to.
We do briefly go to the Mirror Universe in Prodigy Season 2.
Yeah, I think we can vaguely talk about those. They may make the blog. How about that? They can
Sounds
make the
good.
blog, but also Caitlin's not here, so we can spoil Prodigy.
Well, but in theory, we'd like to treat it like we have fresh listeners, so...
Nope, fuck you, listeners. We're going to the Mirror Universe.
Fair enough.
But let's start with Mirror Mirror, the one episode from the original series we get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mirror Spock is basically the same as regular Spock.
Yeah. Yeah, he just has that
Just has a
goatee.
beard. But
Yeah.
everybody else is an absolute psycho.
Yes.
I think, you know, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but I think Takei definitely is having the, like, most fun being evil.
Yeah, I do love Mirror Sulu. He's so conniving. He's thriving in his element, and that's
Yeah,
really
he is
fun to watch.
So slimy, like...
He's got that killer scar. We love that.
Yeah, like, he is good at being evil. Mirror Chekhov wants to be way better at being evil than he is.
Yeah, I don't think Koenig had the chops to be that evil. I think he was definitely hamming more than, like, being loathsome.
Yeah, but even not even to Koenig even, I just meant even just as a character, you feel like Mirror Chekhov doesn't make it very long. Like, he
No.
just feels he's not a schemer, but he tries to be, and it's like, no, buddy, at best, you are a better schemer's bodyguard.
And you won't last long because
Yeah.
someone will stab you because you're in the way.
Yeah.
And we don't see much of the mirror crew that gets transported to the Prime ship.
Yeah, because they
they're
get
just-
arrested immediately.
Because they get
Yeah.
because they pretty quickly figure out, oh, these are psychos.
Yeah. So we just see them in a box yelling.
Yeah, which just is just hilarious.
Yeah, I think Sulu takes the cake in Mirror
Oh,
Mirror,
yeah.
though. He's so fun.
Yeah, no, Mirror Sulu possibly does well for himself.
Well, doesn't he get killed at the end?
Does he? Jesus, you know, I don't remember. If he hadn't gotten killed at the end of that because of Prime Universe bullshit,
Yes.
if the Prime Universe hadn't showed up and ruined his day, he could have done well for himself.
Yeah, meanwhile, Spock is the one who literally single-handedly destroys the Terran Empire with his Vulcan logic.
Yeah, you know, Ames, you called it. In multiple universes, the biggest Mary Sue in Star Trek is Spock.
Yep.
So we don't get TNG Mirror.
Yeah, we do have the comics, but I'll not include the comics this week because I haven't finished them all.
Yeah, I haven't read them yet either.
And also, it's
I
kind of
have-
hard to judge the characters in the
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah, I have seen some of the designs, and they are
Oh, the designs
delightfully
are all
stupid.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read
they're the
a
right
couple of
kind
the TNG ones, and Barclay is especially fun because he's just competent.
Amazing.
It's very funny. Like, I'll talk to you about it a little more next week because I'll give you like a quick rundown of them next week. But there's literally one of the comic books where it's just Mirror Barclay going on missions, and he's just a normal guy.
Wow. Amazing. But yeah, then the big ones, DS9. Boy, they loved the Mirror Universe.
Too
Oh,
much
they
they
did.
love the Mirror Universe.
But what I And, don't get me wrong. I'm not going back on my those are the worst episodes of DS9 stance, because they are. But to the writer's credit, they knew what they were getting themselves into, and they embraced it. They're like, we're doing campy joke episodes that are not,
that have running gags that run through them.
Which is impressive.
And damn the plausibility of any of this. We'll have our holographic character be a flesh and blood person in this universe. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, because it's a joke for them.
Yeah, that's the mirror universe. It doesn't make sense, and that's why I love it. But yes, obviously the candle that burns the brightest is Intendant Kira.
Oh, she is great, and Dana rocks the hell out of it.
She does.
I do think Mirror Garrick gives her a run for her money, though, in terms of pure enjoyment to watch.
Yeah, because isn't he literally chained up by Captain Worf?
Oh yeah, and by the third appearance, he's had a bad time of it, but
yeah, he's definitely a good time, and fucking Smiley, just
oh, Smiley.
Again, Spock is basically the same dude in both universes. O'Brien almost is kind of. He's just having more bad days in the mirror universe.
Wow, which is hard to do because O'Brien's got a lot of bad days.
He does.
Arguably, though, he relative to where they start.
True.
Mirror O'Brien might have a better time than Prime O'Brien.
Yeah, he ends up with a pretty solid arc. He kind of becomes important in the rebellion or whatever it is.
Yeah, somehow he seems to survive, which is credit to him.
I can't remember. Did they give Julian a terrible wig in the Mirror universe?
I'm sure they did.
They gave him. They tried to give him long hair.
Right. I remember I can't picture it, but I remember thinking they gave him the worst hair.
They also just made him. He was already pretty insufferable in the Prime universe, but he was more insufferable there.
Yeah, this might be just me misremembering, but I feel like he did a lot of I think him and Bakula kind of had a similar evil people kind of don't open their mouth all the way sort of thing going on. But I might be misremembering. It's been a hot minute.
I have to give a major shout out to all of our mirror Ferengi. Who are the good-hearted people of the mirror universe.
Who suffer for it.
Suffer, yes. Yep. They all get killed horribly, but they're doing the right thing.
Yep. Poor bastards.
I remember we also liked Jadzia. She seemed fun.
I do feel like I really liked her haircut.
Yeah, she had a really good haircut.
What a stupid thing to remember.
It was the same haircut they gave Julian, but hers looked better.
Right. It suited her more.
I enjoyed Avery Brooks hamming it up as Mirror Cisco.
Now, we never actually saw Mirror Cisco, right? Only him posing as him?
No, we saw Mirror Cisco.
Oh, we did? Okay, I couldn't remember.
I think so, right? In the first Mirror episode when...
It's possible?
It's because Cisco doesn't go to the Mirror universe in the first episode. It's right. Kira and somebody. Or maybe Bashir.
Yeah,
right. And Bashir ends up in the mines, and Kira ends up in bed with herself.
Yes.
Oh, and Mirror Odo gets Explodo.
Oh my god, Mirror Odo.
Explodo, yes.
Even more fascist.
Yeah, somehow.
But he's allowed to be.
True.
The one I could have done entirely without is Mirror Ezri.
Yeah, it was superfluous. It was just, we need to get Ezri into the episode.
Yep. We
don't even need to explain why she's not Jadzia. And she's not even a Dax. She's just Ezri.
Oh, that's right.
She's just there.
I mean, honestly, Ezri just being there makes more sense than there's a human Vic Fontaine.
Yeah, we try not to think about that too much.
Oh, I think about it all the time. It brings me so much joy.
See, I think about it because it's the writers basically giving the audience the fucking finger.
Well, it's giving them the wink. It's that's
how it is. That's exactly what it is.
That's what the Mirror Universe is, a series of winks.
I mean, a series honestly,
of winks. That's perfect.
We can have it. I think that's where one of my issues with the Discovery episodes is like they're taking it far too seriously for what it is.
Yeah,
but
that's what
they're
I was
not.
saying
They're
earlier.
also not. What did you say? Discovery or DS9? I lost
Discovery.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I do agree.
Yeah, DS9
my brain heard
is
the wrong D
treating it
word.
like the joke it should be.
There it is. Okay.
Where and same for Enterprise, right? Like even though Enterprise isn't like a crossover episode, they were leaning heavily into the campiness.
Look, I will probably never watch Enterprise ever again, but I might rewatch those episodes. Like, they're just, and Bakula, bless him, does not have the range to be evil, but that almost makes it funnier.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else...
his evil version, it wasn't the best.
No, it's like, again, his version of evil is, I kind of grumble and I need a shave.
Yeah, I shout more than usual.
Yeah.
Which is just normal Archer. Like, frankly, evil Archer and normal Evil Archer is tamer than normal Archer.
Yeah. Mirror,
T'Pol.
Admiral what's-his-name is fascinating.
Forrest.
Forrest, because he's like someone who wants to be a better person in this awful world and is always trying to navigate staying alive while not being as much of a monster as his universe seems to want him to be.
Yeah,
but
and
he's
he made
still
it
pretty
damn far.
ruthless.
Oh, yeah, he is. But in Mirror Universe terms, like, and especially for Terrans, he's, like, surprisingly almost decent, sort of, if you squint.
I think I like Mirror Phlox better than Prime Phlox, honestly.
Well, because he's allowed to actually be the evil fuck he is.
Yeah, because he's, like, very much the same.
Yeah.
He's like, torture an animal? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Didn't they say that he's the one who invented the agonizer or the agony booth or something?
Him and Reed together designed the agony booth.
Mirror Reed might be my favorite Mirror character because he's just so relishing in watching things explode.
Yeah, which again, like, it's so funny. It's Prime Reed allowed to give in to his darker impulses.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, and that's why, like, some characters have that, like, extra layer in which if you squint, you can see, like, the original character is in there, but allowed to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And some characters don't have that, but Reed definitely has that.
Yeah, like, yeah. That's one thing they did really well with that, because, like, again, you look at, like, TOS, and, like, yeah, Mirror Sulu is amazing, but you don't look at regular Sulu and go, I can see how this guy could have been that guy. You look at Mirror Reed, and you're like, yeah, no, honestly, that is, ooh.
Yeah.
Mirror Trip is just melting because they don't have OSHA in the Mirror universe. Well, they have less OSHA than they have in the Prime universe.
I'm trying to remember how much of a sense of character did we get from Trip other than he's under T'Pol's thumb.
That's mostly what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he gets to be more blatantly racist. Although by that season...
T'Pol, like, she is very much, in the same sense of, like, Spock, she's very much just still T'Pol. She's just a little more cunning, I guess.
Well, like, whereas Spock was kind of just happy to run with the status quo, Mirror T'Pol hates it. And is already quietly trying to actively undermine it, whereas Mirror Spock has to be convinced he can undermine it.
Yeah, she's definitely seen, like, how this is terrible for her people.
Yeah.
And she's actively, like, giving information to the Vulcan resistance and stuff.
Yeah, which makes it, her character, like, has an interesting depth to it that the Mirror universe is not known for.
No.
Right.
Fucking poor, Mirror Mayweather does as much as Prime Mayweather, so who knows? He's got that
a few lines, so...
He did. And he's got that fun haircut, and, he knows how to pick a winner.
But the best, I think, Mirror counterpart in that episode is, of course, Mirror Porthos.
I knew you were going to say that.
Cute.
I know she wins the day. Yeah, Mirror Hoshi's pretty interesting. But
she's definitely conniving.
Yeah.
I think it gave the actress more opportunity to kind of, like, do stuff that she doesn't normally get to do on the show, which is often the case with the Mirror universe. But I think for her in particular, like, she kind of just blends into the background a lot of the time on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So her being able to kind of take center stage and
but because
do things and be the badass.
Yeah, her plot is also like semi like serious, so I didn't think the one downside is she doesn't get to be quite as like extravagant in her evil. She's actually just quietly scheming and jumping around. She does a great job.
It makes it kind of come out of nowhere at the end when the audience realizes what's going on. It's like, oh man, Empress Sato, holy shit. Because like she's not playing it up the whole episode long.
Right, which is how you succeed as a schemer, of course. In the real world, if you are obviously a schemer, you're gonna get caught.
Yeah.
But the downside is it means she didn't get to maybe ham it up as much as her counterparts that week.
Yeah, but you have a lot of respect for, like, she's playing the game.
Again, this is not
she's
at all meant to be...
playing all sides.
Yeah, this isn't meant to be an insult to even, Linda Park. It's just she was not... The script didn't allow her to go as whole hog, I think. Which is too bad.
Yeah, I think it's because they wanted that last moment at the end to be, okay, go as whole hog as possible. Yeah. With no lines and just saying Empress Sato. And that's all you get. Yeah.
She did great. Don't get me wrong. We shan't spend long on it because it's not actually the Mirror Universe, but there is the closest Voyager comes to the Mirror Universe with Living Witness. I just wanted to give a shout out to that. Everyone just being campy.
Yeah, we love Living
Witness.
Good
fun. Yeah. And clearly, if nothing else, everyone did realize those uniforms look better with a black turtleneck underneath because that's what we get in Picard.
Yeah, I know there's Voyager comics too. I haven't read the Voyager comics at all yet, but they are in a big Humble bundle that I bought, so I may get to some of them by next week. I'll report back.
Fair.
But that brings us to our current show, Discovery, in which obviously our main mirror character is Georgiou, who I
guess technically also Lorca.
Oh yeah, true. But let's start with Georgiou, who when she's in the mirror universe in her element. Let's discuss her in the mirror universe, because I feel like just the rest of it is where she falls to pieces.
Yeah, no, her, like, if she had just been killed at the end of season 1, great character. Over the top evil, stupid fidget spinner murder machine, so different from Prime Georgiou. Like, we didn't see a lot of Prime Georgiou, but she's still a recognizably super different character. I love her in that first season.
Yeah, they should have left her there.
Yep. Oh god, yes. Or again, let her stay on Kronos on her bar. Like, one or the other.
And you haven't even seen the movie yet.
Nope. By all accounts, the worst Star Trek movie of all time.
We'll get there eventually.
Ugh.
What did you think of Georgiou when we first met her in her element, Jake?
I don't know. I think she was fine but again, like, I still think the Discovery Mirror Universe is far too serious business. It almost feels like a completely separate thing for me than our other Mirror Universe visits, just because it's so serious and it takes itself so seriously.
I do think the first season let it be a little lighter than they did this week, but yeah, it's definitely the most serious version yet at that point.
I think the difference between first season and this two-parter that we're in the middle of right now is it had Prime characters going to the Mirror Universe.
Yeah.
So you had that contrast, and the contrast is where the comedy is.
Well, like the Captain Killy stuff, right? Like, everyone loves that from the first visit, but yeah, but again, my impression of Georgiou from the off is this person is a absolute monster,
which makes sense. It's the Mirror Universe. She should be.
Yeah, no, exactly, and I'm fine with it. I think that if she had stayed in the Mirror Universe, that would have been great.
Yeah, the problem,
I think bringing her to the Prime Universe and then having her be a quip machine.
Yeah,
just like it would be like if you had a time travel if Doctor Who recruited a new companion and it was Hitler.
Jesus Christ!
Like.
And then they stuck around.
And like it's just you have a season of the Doctor flying around in his TARDIS with like quirky Hitler as his sidekick.
But they weren't making commentary about it. They were trying to make you like him.
It was just like, oh yeah, man, Hitler, he sure says some funny shit.
Yeah, no,
yikes.
I in all the Doctor Who I've seen, I don't think there's ever been an arc where he like recruits someone who is blatantly evil and tries to make them a good guy.
Because you can't. You can't do that.
I mean, you can, but again, here they didn't even try. They were just like, look, now she makes jokes, so you like her. And it's like, she's, as Jake said, Hitler. And you don't even have her, like, feel bad about having been Hitler. Like, what?
Yeah, she's like, man, back when I was Hitler, things were so much better.
Yeah. You know, the way to do it right is to have them be like, oh my God, wow. Now that I've been exposed to a different society, I realize I was the worst.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm the way I am because I grew up in this fucking maniac world.
Yeah.
But there is a better way to be. And I feel like that's kind of what they were trying to do a little bit in this episode with having her go back and just not having the edge that she used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she doesn't fit in anywhere anymore, like Spock.
We haven't seen any real major shift up to this point, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's, again, it's a shame because you've got a really good actor there who could have given you so much more if you'd given her a better fucking script.
Yeah. And not to be, there are certainly moments in the the last two seasons with Georgiou that are like, okay, I like what Michelle Yeoh is doing here. I like what the writers did here, but most of the time she's a quip machine and like a cringe line delivery machine.
Yeah, like I think even speaking as the person who probably likes this show the most of the four of us, like I'm almost always disappointed with what they give Michelle Yeoh to say and do after season 1. They just really wasted her.
Yeah, I would agree. Like she could have been that outside perspective, but you brought in someone evil to be your outside perspective. And
didn't allow them to grow, really.
Yeah, and we'll see what she does next episode, because there is a little bit of growth that you see, but also, like I said a couple times now, fuck next episode.
But also, it's last minute. It's like, we're just about to write her off. Here's that growth. It's like how we're just about to write her off. Here's Ariam's whole background.
Like Non, like everybody.
Like, come on, guys. I like this show, but you keep making the same mistake.
Well, they think that they've been developing Georgiou. That's the problem.
Oh,
because she's been around more than Ariam or Non had been. They think that she's deserved this and table flip.
Just being in the room doesn't mean you've grown.
But let's move on from Georgiou too when you guys are done.
Mirror who?
Lorca.
Oh, well, we haven't seen Prime Lorca, so we only have.
That's a good point.
One reference point here.
But what is interesting is, like, he's fascinating as a piece of commentary because it's like, there's clearly something wrong with him, even in the Prime universe. But Starfleet's willing to look the other way because things have gone bad.
Yeah, because we're in the middle of a war. We can't fix you now. We have to get through this war.
Yeah, and again, I think that's sort of a repeating thing we've seen with Star Trek is like, and this is what's important is like Star Trek can be about an optimistic future, but I think the key is never thinking, like the minute the writers think Starfleet and the Federation are perfect, they've failed. Because the whole idea is like, it's not just getting better, you can always be better, you can always get better. If you think you can't, you're wrong and you fucked up, and that is when you regress into garbage. And, like I said years ago with O'Brien, like, clearly no one at Starfleet during the Cardassian War was, like, trying to rein in anyone's racism. They were never like, whoa, Chief. They're our enemy now, but they're still people. Like, he was allowed to be full-bore racist, and even after the war can still be kind of shitty about them. And everyone's like, yeah.
It's like that old Latin saying that translates in English to, in times of war, the woke fall silent. Because, they're not, whatever.
Yes, what's the actual...
Cute. Yeah, what's the actual phrase, Jake?
It's the law falls silent.
The law.
Right,
yes.
Thank you. I was like, it's like, I know there's an actual one, but I genuinely blanked on it.
It's a DS9 episode, the one where Shear goes behind enemy lines.
There we go. But yeah, so I think it kind of points to that, which, again, as a commentary on real society too, is important, is like, don't give shitty people a pass just because they're handy.
Yeah, that's why, like, Paradise Lost and Homefront were so good, because you can see, like, oh, wow, Federation is doing some fucking bad shit.
It is very easy to fall into fascism.
And we are going to call them out on it, because that is what good people do.
Yeah. So that's, I think that's the useful thing about Lorca is how easy, we look at, again, we talk about TOS. The mirror people show up and immediately the crew is like, well, okay, we are putting you in the brig because something is wrong. Mirror Lorca shows up and they're like, here's an experimental ship with a crazy weapon.
Yeah, and his eyeballs like turn into dollar signs. Or what do they have in the Terran universe? Gold crowns.
She mentioned credits this episode, so his eyes turn into weird dollar signs, and he needs to use the drops to fix them.
Ha ha ha.
Mirror Landry
Mike.
is just the same as Prime Landry. There's no difference.
Is she less stupid? I can't remember.
No,
she's pretty stupid.
Yeah, right. She falls for some obvious trick from Michael, doesn't she? God damn it, Landry.
She definitely does.
Dipshit
she's
across.
Like scouting the Jeffries tubes for her and like watches a video over someplace or something, gets lost. I forget how it works, but yeah, Landry all around. All Landrys suck. That
was very fucking. I want to see what idiot way Kelvin Landry died.
Yeah, we finally get to see the actual Mirror Burnham this week. Mm-hmm. And she is just rage incarnate.
Yes, I will say, like, the one person who seemed to get to, like, go a little, like, classic over-the-top camp evil was Michael, which was nice.
Yeah, Sonequa does it well, too. Like, the just throwing all the words in Georgiou's face as she's surrounded by people who all have phasers trained on her. And it's very good.
And the fucking face she makes when she thinks Georgiou's about to execute her is astounding. It's like, I didn't know your face could do that. Holy shit. That really shows how restrained you keep it most of the time. You have a very flexible jaw.
We also, this episode, see actual Killy.
Mm-hmm.
And Killy is a bit cartoonish.
A little, but they don't give her enough to do.
Yeah.
Which is too bad.
And I would argue that none of the other Mirror characters they give anything to do.
Oh, they almost give them less to do than their Prime counterparts, which is saying something.
I mean, Saru gets to do stuff.
Saru, that's a good one.
But he's basically just Saru. Like, there's not really a big difference there.
Well, he's abused Saru.
Yeah.
So Saru.
Well, now that Lorca's dead.
He's kind of the Spock, right? He's just the character that's just a constant.
Yeah, except this one, like, knows he'll be eaten one day, which is grim.
Am I missing anyone from Discovery? Because, yeah, like, Detmer and Ariam and Oo and Reese and Bryce, I would all just kind of lump into they're just here to, like, support everyone else.
Yeah, they're Paul.
I mean, we do meet Mirror Sarek and Mirror Voke.
Oh, yeah,
well,
briefly.
That's true. They have an interesting dynamic.
I mean, Mirror Voke is less evil than Prime Voke.
But he is that thing, though, we saw with, like, Mirror Reed, where it's like, in both universes, he tries to rally people. So there is that commonality there. Voke tries to become a leader in the Prime universe and fails. He does become a leader in the Mirror universe.
Yeah, but in the Mirror universe, he's like bringing together a coalition of different aliens to resist tyranny. In the Prime universe, he's like a xenophobic religious zealot who wants to destroy all the other species.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So that's right. In the Mirror universe, he's the good version, weirdly enough.
Yeah, using his rallying powers for good.
Sarek isn't terribly different aside from the goatee.
Yeah, he still does the forced mind melds and shit.
Classic Vulcan. But we do see a good amount of Mirror Paul in the first season.
Yeah.
They're quite similar. The Pauls. Both smug bastards who think they know more than everyone.
Both absolutely driven insane by the mycelial network.
Yeah.
I can't see Prime Stamets being the hype man for Georgiou, though.
For the theater show?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Prime Stamets keeps his artistic hobbies a little quieter. Didn't even know he could play the piano till he whipped that out a couple episodes ago out of nowhere.
Like, they're doing, like, the Cirque du Soleil act.
Yeah, I forgot about that when that came. Like, that could have been, go with that bizarre tone. That's what you do. It's like, we're having a stupid Cirque du Soleil murder scene with a terrible poem underneath, like... More of that, please, except the bad poem. It didn't land for me as funny bad. It was just terrible.
Did Mirror Culber leave any impression at all?
Did he have any lines?
I don't think he had any
remember.
lines. I think he had a cool, I think he had a cool shirt. I think he wore like red.
Yeah, he looked good in red.
Cool.
Like
everybody else wears black, but he's got red.
They gave him
he
some
looks good.
Great eyeliner, actually. Again, they really need to just like it's too late. The show's over. But put the Mirror Universe makeup on our good guys. Everyone's makeup was fucking amazing.
Yeah. But I think Mirror Culber was just, he had great drip. That was about it.
Yeah.
And I forget. We'll see next week if Culber does anything.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Aside from, look, he's one of the main characters now. Now we actually have to do something with him in the Mirror Land.
Not that we'll find out, but like they've kind of tried to make it make sense how Prime, Culber, and Stamets wound up together. Mirror Stamets and Culber probably make even less sense.
Probably Georgiou was having an orgy.
They
wanted to have DEF CON levels of fun.
A Georgie? Georgie? I don't know.
Thanks for trying. I appreciate that.
Listeners, if you can somehow come up with a portmanteau of Georgiou and orgy that works better.
I think you got as close as we're going to get.
Maybe.
And lastly, I do want to, at least in passing, bring up the Mirror Universe episode, even though we haven't gotten to it yet in Prodigy, because it's the one place where I super duper actually ship Janeway and Chakotay.
That's fair. That is fair. I remember watching that episode, and they get to Cetacean Ops, and I'm like, oh my god, is there going to be an evil whale? And there was an evil whale. It had a scar for some reason.
I love Prodigy so much.
I did love that evil whale.
That is the Mirror Universe. The
was that, Jillian?
Whale has a... Yes, that is her name. That's right. I
love it.
That is how you do the Mirror Universe.
Yeah, Prodigy fucking nails it. Like, as someone who shits on every Mirror episode that I see, Prodigy is how you fucking do it. I can't wait until whenever we finally get to the Prodigy coverage that we're going to do, because they know the tone, the correct tone.
Yeah. Oh, that show. So good. Does Lower Decks do the Mirror Universe? I'd be shocked if they didn't.
I'm trying to think if they do. I know there are mirror characters in timelines, but I think that's one of their special packs. Because every so often they'll have like the specialty packs of characters that don't actually exist.
That's funny, of all things to not do.
Yeah, because Boimler with a goatee does look silly as hell. And I don't remember them actually doing it. They probably reference it because they reference everything and think that's making jokes. We'll have to see when we get there, because I can't remember if they do.
Yeah, if any show could have gotten away with it. Be interesting to see, because we still got, there's going to be a full season 4 and a truncated season 5 of Strange New Worlds. See if they decide to somehow acknowledge it in any capacity. I know technically they can't, because there's no quote unquote known.
They break it all the time.
They do.
Like Strange New Worlds is at the point now where it's just like, that's just a reference to that TOS thing. That's just a reference to that TOS thing. Okay. And I'm getting a little underwhelmed. There are great moments of current season of Strange New Worlds, but I'm at the point where it's just like, it feels safe and predictable.
That's too bad.
And you haven't watched any of it yet, Chris?
Not yet.
Okay, I won't spoil, because what even is there to spoil?
I finally finished Death Stranding 2 yesterday, and that is honestly where most of my, what would have been TV time has been going to, so maybe now I'll start catching up. Yeah,
definitely catch up now, because I think people on, shit posting, or really anywhere online, are spoiling all over the place, so...
Yeah. I don't want them to do a Mirror Universe episode.
I never want them to do a Mirror Universe episode.
But I say this as someone who normally does, but I do think if anyone would, if they let them go completely, lean into the stupidity of it, I think Anson Mount would do a good job. I think
maybe that's what the puppet verse is.
I mean, we could actually, since we do have Kirk, we could actually see Mirror Kirk kill Mirror Pike to get the Enterprise. That'd be kind of cool. Again, I don't think they should, but if they did. Yeah, because we do know what happens there. But because we know what happens there, is it therefore as good? Well, I mean, that's such a big part of Strange New Worlds. Pike knows his fate. Yeah, literally there was a moment in one of the recent episodes where it's like, why didn't I die? It's like, because you know you can't. You know you can't die, Pike. Come on, buddy. Anyway, we're not talking about
I just would be happy to not do more Mirror Universe stuff.
Yeah, no,
personally.
Honestly, like, if the last we see of it is Prodigy, that would be fine, because that was such a good use of it.
Yeah. Yeah, season 2 Prodigy. Even better than season 1. Love it. Love it to death.
So good. Such a good show.
But what about...
There is the Section 31 movie also has mirror universe stuff.
Ish, but I don't think there's any other characters for us to discuss for this blog activity, but that is the other mirror universe shit that we will see, and god damn it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know there's like some of her background or something, so I guess it has to take place there, is my understanding.
I won't spoil.
Okay. That is appreciated.
I mean, it spoiled itself.
It soiled itself.
I mean, here's the thing. It never would have been good. As I have said, like, so many times, the one major problem I do have with streaming Trek is they don't get that Section 31 are bad guys.
Right.
They think they're anti-heroes. They are not. They are just bad guys. Anyway.
But yeah, speaking of things that are terrible, we did actually watch the Ice Cube War of the Worlds.
I hear you brave bastards.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, don't. Do not do this.
Don't.
It is as bad as you have been led to believe. It is just...
I would
terrible.
say if you want to go in and just mock the shit out of it, very mockable. Like, it's not like bad because it's boring or anything. It's you could MST3K the shit out of this movie and have a ball if you just go in knowing it's going to be fucking trash, because it absolutely is.
I mean, yeah, like, I watched the Ryan George pitch meeting about it.
Yeah, that's all you need to watch.
Well, then I watched somebody else's, like, sort of discussion video of it, just some random thing that popped up in my timeline.
Send me a link, I want to see.
I'll try to find it. It was a while ago, and it's not someone I normally follow. It was just like, oh, you watched the Ryan George thing, here's this. And I remember watching that and being like, oh my god. Like, the Ryan George thing made it sound fucking abysmal. This somehow makes it sound even worse.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the Ryan George video is charitable.
He's Canadian, he's polite.
It is rough.
Yeah, literally there was a point that Jake was like, did they film this during COVID protocol? Because Ice Cube is never in the same room as somebody else. It's always just him on a webcam, which is static as hell. And the answer was yes. They filmed it in 2020 during COVID protocols and then sat on it for 5 years and for some reason released it.
I guess they decided it would be more profitable to release it than do a Warner Brothers style tax break cancel.
It's like the producers. You'll make more money with a flop.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like that, was it the Batgirl movie that they just like
shit
quietly canned at, like, when it was all done, and yet somehow this gets released?
Well, that was again. That's different. That was Warner Brothers. This is Amazon.
Yeah, but still, it's just, yeah.
Anyway,
that was us. That was us in our mirror universe.
Yeah, but what future does our universe hold? Well, I'll tell you, it holds us doing another episode of this podcast next week on A Star to Steer Her By. We will be covering Part 2. Terra Firma,
Finally.
Part 2 of episode 409, Part 410. Coming next week to a podcast near you. Until then, you can catch up with us on Tumblr, SSHB Podcast, or sshbpodcast.com, or Blue Sky. That's the one. SSHB Podcast. As also always on Facebook and other platforms. All the platforms except for X. We don't do that one because fuck that
one.
Fuck that.
Speaking of Mirror Universe, that place is run by fucking fascists.
Yeah, so follow us on LinkedIn. No, don't do that because we're not on that one either. But not for any particular thing against LinkedIn. It's just not really applicable, I guess. Anyway, you can also find our podcast on SoundCloud, or Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, or the other ones.
YouTube.
And YouTube. Yeah, U2. That's a band from Ireland. So anyway, YouTube. Nothing to do with U2 or Bono, for that matter.
At what point does our audience just fast forward?
I don't
this,
fucking know. There's the ones that are still listening. It's their own damn fault. But it is my fault for dragging this out longer than it needed to be by about 5 minutes. But here I am. Am I showing any signs of stopping? No. I don't know why. Fucked. Shit. How do I end this? I don't know. My name's been Jake.
This has been Chris. Hello, future me. How'd the edit go?
Terribly, future Chris. You've edited all of it out. But this has been Ames. Oh, and I realized, you know who the best mirror character was? Mirror Georgiou from Jake's fanfic last week.
Oh, yes, there we go.
Yeah, that's true. She was phenomenal.
Those were
Good work,
delightful.
Jake.
Somehow they managed to make her both likable and I don't fucking know.
Good job, Jake.
Bye.
Clap it out. Nope.